Ooh, like a whole bunch of people just like popped right in there like it wasn't even. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Dylan Talks Tone. Welcome to the weekly Q&A, and that's all it is.
Weird.
It's just a Q&A tonight.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't really have, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of Q's and a lot of A's, and I'm sure we'll just chat about stuff and until 9 o'clock. And then at 9 o'clock, we're going to switch on over to the old off-topic hour. So if you have guitar questions, get them in there. The other thing I should say, and I'm going to say this a bunch of times as people show up, just so they all know, that I'm taking a play from Texas Toast, and we turned off ads. So this is all viewer supported. So super chats only. There is no, there's going to be no ads during this live stream. I hope super chats still work. I'm not saying somebody should give us a super chat to test it, but I might be saying
It does work. I mean, the button is there.
Okay, good. We were trying to play with it earlier, but you couldn't do it with an unlisted video and et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, I think from now on, all my live streams are going to be on. No, we'll turn the ads on afterwards, but so that we get ad revenue as they get rewatched. However, when they are live, I think we are going to make them ad free. I don't see why not. I think it'll make it for a better experience for everybody. And I know
for a long time we didn't even realize that ads happened during a live stream.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know that there will be ways that you will find to show appreciation for the content anyway. So I'm not super concerned about it. So anyway.
By being here.
Let's talk about a couple things before we get going. Oh, there's a super chat.
Super chat from Rob's Hog, or is it Rob Shog? Let's say Rob's Hog.
I bet he's a Harley guy.
Maybe.
He might be.
He said no ads.
Whoops.
Seems super excited about no ads.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
We got another one.
Kind of what I was hoping would happen.
Oops, I can't push buttons. Super chat from Sarge978. Thanks for the super chat, Sarge. He said play with the button.
We did. Oh, we get to do it again.
Do it again. Super chat from Vinny's World. He says no ads. FTW. Thanks,
awesome.
Vinny.
I'm glad I know that you'll appreciate it. So that's why I was just like, let's just do it. Okay. So a couple things I want to talk about first before we get going on all these questions. And I want to do this now.
Did I push it? Yes. Super chat from Van Shank Guitars. He says, so I'm buying a Harley Benton product, but we'll talk about it on the Monday Zoom meeting. And keeping it ad free.
I'm interested in that. I'm interested to hear what you think. Okay. So we got a bunch of new hats. And thank you for the super chat, Ivan. We got a bunch of new stuff because we are making our own stuff in-house. We still do have some of the third-party stuff. The T-shirts are still third-party, etc. But we are making a bunch of stuff in-house. So we've got, and I want to show these to you. And we've got a giveaway going on too that I'm going to talk about. So we've got the Sasquatch hat. So we took the Sasquatch from the T-shirt and we put it on a hat. This is laser engraved in cork. It's really, really cool. This is actually my personal hat.
You can't hear the sound. Super chat from Sarge978. Thank you for the super chat. He says, by the way, quit besmirching HD.
Oh, Harley Davidson. No. Dude, I'm a motorcycle enthusiast through and through. I make jokes about it, but
yeah, that's a great word.
We have this other hat that is the Dylan Talks Tone logo engraved in cork as well. We have the tall kind, so the flat brim kind that like I wear all the time in cork. We also have the same hat in like a brown leatherette. Okay. And the reason I'm showing these to you is because these are on the website right now. They're $40 and you can purchase them right now. You can purchase them in any of the color combinations that you see here. And you can also purchase either the cork or the leatherette. Now, giveaway. This is what we're doing. For the next 24 hours, I've got 3 prototype hats here. They are kind of seconds, if you will. They're not on the website. These are actually leather that I got raw veg tanned leather, undyed. I treated it. I dyed it, and I laser etched it, and I made these hats. The process is not 100%, so I don't have them on the website yet. But these are not cheap hats, and these are very, very cool. So we have one in this color, one in this color, and one in I only have 3, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to go to DylanTalksTone.com. You're going to buy something. If you spend $200, put hat in the discount code, and I will send you one of these with your order. There's only 3, and it can only be used 3 times. So, I've set it up to where we won't give away more than we have. So, just so you know, $200 purchase, free hat, only 3 of them. And there are only 3 in existence. This is all we have of these. So, these may come to the website later, but they're not going to be exactly like this. This is just kind of the prototype early stuff, and they're very cool. I really like this red one. So anyway,
Jim Cunningham said he dropped his phone and don't know if you said cork. You said cork.
I said cork.
It's really cool.
Why does he have a cork on his fork?
What? Is that a thing?
So he does not hurt himself. You weren't born yet, I don't think, when that movie came out. Well, you were, but anyways. Let's see. The other thing we've got is patch cables from Runway Audio. Those are on the website. I wanted to tell you about that. We added humbucker magnets to the pickup parts section today. So if you want Alnico 5, 2.44 by half inch by eighth inch general issue, A5 polished magnetized humbucker magnets, I think they're 4 for $16, something like that.
Super chat from Jim M. Thank you for the super chat, Jim. He says, "Hey Dylan, love the channel. I'm just a hobby home player, interested in playing with a multi-FX unit. Need a FRFR. What's that stand for?
Flat range, flat response speaker.
Or can I play through Amp FX loop?
It would be better if you had a flat range, flat response speaker. Fortunately, there's some really, really inexpensive stuff. You get like a Tonex or a Tonex 1, which is very inexpensive. We just did a review on it. And you could get like a Headrush powered cabinet that are like $200 for the small one. And that would be pretty awesome.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all the stuff. We had a lot of stuff to update you on.
How about Monday?
Monday, we're going to have a hangout, a Patreon hangout, member hangout for YouTube and Patreon members. And, Ivan says he's going to be there and talk to me about a Harley Benton. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited to hear about it. And, whatever else we've got going, which, we're going to talk about Stingray Music Man pickups.
Super chat from Ghostface. I like their avatar with the white tiger.
I like it too.
It just says $1 from Ghostface.
Thank you,
Ghostface.
I appreciate it.
Know if you wanted to send a question, I'll look out for it in case you did, because sometimes they get disconnected.
Well, let's go ahead and start going through our Patreon questions, and maybe that'll inspire some other questions.
Yeah. Robert. Hello, Leslie and Dylan. I'm glad that I'll make the live chat tonight. Rehearsal is canceling due to severe flooding and power outages. So for Leslie, Sarge, and all, I'll need a bigger boat.
Oh, man, that sucks.
I don't remember where Robert's at.
I don't either.
Usually pops in every time and just says hello, and he'll watch the replay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a coworker of mine had a brownout today and lost internet and power. So I don't know what's happening, if that's like a Midwest thing or because they're in the Midwest.
Hmm.
Anyway. Okay, that's all the jobs again. Super chat from 3J Music. Thank you for the super chat. They said, my donation to keeping it ad free.
Thank you, 3J Music. I appreciate you very much. That's pretty awesome.
All right.
Next Patreon question.
Yep.
Awesome.
Rob. Hello, Leslie, Brianna, Dylan. Dylan, how critical do you think low impedance cables are between one's pedal board and amp? Amp in, effects send, effects return, compared to the importance of the impedance of the instrument cable between the guitar and the first pedal of one's signal chain. Thank you.
So high impedance circuits, which is what a guitar circuit is, makes it pretty much irrelevant. The electrical wavelength of 20 kilohertz, which is what we're worried about, because that's where this would be affected the most on the high end, is like 15 kilometers. So lambda of that would be like 1 or 1.5 kilometers, which means if your patch cable was longer than 1.5 kilometers, then you would have to worry about impedance with this high impedance circuit. That's generalizing, but basically the bottom line is you don't need to worry about it. The thing you really need to worry about more is capacitance per foot. You're going to lose more because of capacitance per foot than you would over any other electrical property specification. So the current is so low that's why you don't have to worry about impedance. The voltage, we have to worry about voltage / frequency of voltage is why we have to worry about capacitance so much. So I wouldn't worry about it. Capacitance per foot is the thing you have to worry about with guitar cables.
Super chat from Sarge978. He said, I got it, Robert. Well played. So I'm assuming the flood in the boat, or including Sarge and me in the boat. I don't know.
I don't know
what that was about.
Apparently that was a movie thing, but maybe we missed it. I don't know.
Sarge has got all the jokes and
he does.
gets all the jokes.
He does, yeah. He's a cool dude.
Maybe I'll catch up one day.
One of these days.
Thanks, Sarge, for the super chat. All right. Next, speaking of Sarge, question from Sarge. Evening, Dylan, Leslie, and or Brianna. She's at work, by the way.
She's at work tonight, yeah.
Dylan, wanting to play at a pleasurable volume, but living in an apartment and not wanting to get evicted, as well as the majority of my available playing time being after my 3-year-old goes to bed, has me in the market for some good headphones. I've been doing a lot of research on open versus closed back. The information, as I've understood it, is that it's open back will give you a truer representation as they're able to breathe and thus react more naturally. What's your opinion and why? San Dimas High School football rules.
San Dimas High School football rules.
Is that from a movie too?
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
He did that for you then?
Yeah. My favorite movie of all time, actually. I can almost quote that entire movie.
Yeah. I can't even say it right.
No. San Dimas, California is where it was staged. It's your mom, dude.
Somebody said that last week. Or you said that? I don't know.
What?
Anyway.
I say it all the time. Because Bill has a crush on Ted's mom.
I don't remember you ever saying that. Anyway.
Yeah. You would think it's dumb.
Headphones. I've seen it. I just don't.
Okay.
I've seen it once and that was enough.
Oh, I've seen it thousands of times. That was my snowed in snowstorm movie. Okay, headphones.
Mine was Ferris Bueller.
Oh, yeah. So
Not that I got snowed in.
I was about to say that. Open back, yes. I personally, here's my thing. Yes, open back is more accurate, but does it give you the listening experience that you want? A lot of times when you play guitar, you are not trying to duplicate a studio situation where you are trying to be as accurate as possible. You're trying to sound good in your head. So sometimes not having any low end and having it, because they don't have very good low end. So because having that cup, sealed gives you more bass, really. So what can happen is you can sound kind of flat and kind of boring, I guess, and not sound as big like you think you might sound if you're playing with headphones. So I don't know that for guitar playing, it's the be all end all. I don't use open back headphones for that reason. But I do use them for mixing when I edit video and stuff. So yeah, two different purposes.
Apparently the movie reference was from Jaws,
Oh yeah.
which
I need
now
a bigger
makes
boat.
sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
I knew that now. My problem is I'm not a huge movie buff, except for the movies that I know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't just know random movies to know them. So I will catch on to them afterwards. And once I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's from a movie now that I recall it. But I won't be able to pull it out of the thin air, if that makes sense.
That was the short list.
Of questions?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Do you want some that have come in?
Let's
since
do
we've
it.
Started. Let me make sure I did all of these.
You guys, by the way, these XLR cables from Runway Audio are phenomenal. He sent me these just because I was like, we need them to match the microphones and to match my other cables. And so he did it. And man, they look good.
Mm-hmm. All right. Starting at the top. T-Bone. Hey, Dylan and Leslie. Dylan, have you heard anything about Fender dumping the Player Series for something new?
I have not heard anything about that, but it would not surprise me that they would revamp the hierarchy of guitars, because the Player Series honestly hasn't been that great, in my opinion anyway, for the last 3 or 4 years. And so maybe they want to rebrand it and come out with something new. The Player Series used to be called something else. Well, it was just made in Mexico. There were, and the American Standard was a thing, and then you had all those. They change that stuff on purpose to keep it fresh. So I wouldn't surprise me. It kind of is about time that they would do that.
Ted Onishchuk. Does anyone fully automate the pickup making process, or is there always a human component?
Almost everybody is automated. Almost everyone. You have to load the machines, but almost everybody, even your small guys, like there aren't very many people that do what I do. There's a bunch of the people that you have to wait 6 months for. I would say, and I guess I'm kind of proud of this, that I'm probably, there's not very many people that are like, this is my real job. I do this every day. When you order pickups from me, it only takes a couple of weeks to get them. And we do a couple hundred of them a month, like a relatively good amount for a couple of people. And still do everything, not with all these crazy automated everything. I know a bunch of other small makers that are already totally CNC. And not just CNC, like a lot of automation.
Super chat from Dastardly Dave. Thanks for the super chat, Dave. He said, ad free is for me. Ask Brian.
Ha! Thanks, Dave.
I can't think of Brian without seeing him knock a squirrel out of the ceiling.
I was thinking about another automating machine today. Tim at McNally Pickups. He told me he would do it for me, and I've just never done it. Haven't had him do it. You know the little baby wires that we have to solder to the humbuckers? You know, the little tiny ones?
Mm-hmm.
He has a machine that the spool goes in one side, and it just goes chunk, 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 and spits out like 1.5 inch long little wires that are stripped on both ends, 1/4 inch. And it's just like a little machine. It is like chunk, 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 splits them out, spits them out. And so I'm sitting there with a pocket knife, this pocket knife today actually, and stripping this wire, flipping it over, stripping this wire. And I mean, I have the dinosaur strippers that makes it a little bit faster, and a couple other things to make it faster, but he has a machine. And he's told me before, he's like, if you want me to do this, you just tell me and you can pay me to do it, and I'll just send you a box of little wires. I'm like, man, that'd be kind of nice, actually.
Jose Daniel Zamora P says, what products from the merch ship from you? I'm interested, but because I order through a courier to Guatemala, one package with some pickups would work best.
If you go on the website, actually, can you go to DylanTalksTone.com? Go to the website first.
The pressure.
And we'll share the pay. We'll share it, and I'll show you. Shop apparel.
This.
Yep. So then go to this little screen right here, and click the monitor button. Not
in the middle.
That one. Yep. What does it say?
Oh, it wants to take a screen capture.
Oh, cancel.
Or is that?
Just cancel that.
Oh, it wants to access the screen. So do I have to change settings?
I don't know. Maybe. Hang on 1 second. We're just checking something. Oh, no.
Later.
Just hit later.
I think you pushed the wrong button.
Did I?
I do think it's trying to do a screen capture. So where is Ecamm?
Right there.
Oh, it's right here.
Yep.
Is it this button?
Yeah.
Screen? Or
Yeah, it should be share screen.
I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Entire screen?
Try it, yeah. Okay, there we go. You could go back behind it and take that security notice thing off. Sorry about the clumsiness of this, but so those top 3 products right there.
I think this means we're showing everything.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Go back, like click off of it and go to the website. There you go.
Oh.
Okay, now scroll up just a little.
Okay. Whoop. What's happening?
Here, let me do it. You don't use the same touch things on your computer that I do.
It shouldn't flip screens.
Okay, so this hat, the top 3 hats right here, we have in-house. This keychain and this cup holder, or this bottle opener coaster thing. That is what we make in-house. There you go. Sorry, that was a whole lot of messing
Can
around.
I close
But
this one?
yes, you can. Yep. And I think we missed a super chat too while we were messing around with all that.
Okay. Let me.
Sorry about that, but I wanted to share that with you. So yes, those are things that we make in-house.
All right.
Oh, all the lizard spit stuff. And of course, all of the
super chat from Sarge978. Thank you for the super chat, Sarge. He said, pocket knife stripping equals more love. Yeah, all pickups come with Dylan's DNA.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
There's definitely, yeah. Yeah, because...
And my vacuum has lots of pickup wire in it.
It has a lot of solder in it right now because today I accidentally tipped over the solder holster thing. And you know, all the little
cleaner thing?
Yeah, all the little beads of solder just
yeah.
went everywhere, and I had to vacuum for like 5 minutes trying to get it all out of the rug.
Why didn't you use the shop vac?
Awesome. I should have. Because it was all the way out there.
I bet it was cheaper than my vacuum, though.
Yeah, yes, I'm sure it was.
All right. Ready for the next one?
Yep.
Vox Guitars Rock says, how about your logo on a pin so I can wear it on my Stetson?
We could do that.
I just learned something about Vox Guitars Rock.
I know. I wonder if he's a boot guy too. If he
Mm.
wears a Stetson, he must be a boot guy. I'm a big boot guy.
I don't know if this. Okay, so like what our name is wants me to say Mick Drama Bear, but then I'm like MC Drama Bear. I don't know. How's the Les Paul? Still love it?
Oh yeah, I love that guitar. Yeah, I was just playing it today. It's right there. I love it, man.
Rob's Hog is what it is. He did tell me, and he does have Harley.
Cool.
Rob's Hog says, thoughts on the Boss Katana Gen 3, since we're talking about modelers.
You know, I saw that about an hour before we went live, and I didn't get a chance to really look into it. So I want to look into it. I think it'll probably be awesome. Everything they do is awesome. So.
Oh, there's hockey tonight?
Yes, please.
Box Guitars Rock says, almost hockey time. Go Oilers.
Yeah, go Oilers. It is almost hockey time. When do they go? Is it 9 o'clock? It's 9 o'clock, isn't it, tonight? I think, because they play in Edmonton. So once 9 o'clock off topic hour comes, you all are going to have to keep me in the. Oh, 8:30. It starts at 8:30. So.
Ready?
Yep.
Super chat. Super chat from Sarge978. Thank you for the super chat, Sarge. He says, doing laundry as I watch, and my Tones Brigade shirt came out with a hole. New order coming.
Oh, that's a bummer, man. That's a cool shirt. I love that shirt. I love that shirt. Yeah, thanks for the super chat. Yeah, keep me up on hockey scores if you would, y'all. I'd appreciate that.
All right, let me.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. This is a hat too. This isn't on the website yet because this is a prototype and this is the only one like it. But this is laser cut acrylic, 2-layer acrylic.
It's really cool.
It's really cool. So we're playing around with that, but I haven't got the material quite right yet.
8:30.
Yeah, it's at 8:30. Yeah.
All right. Education. What would be a reason for choosing a certain type of wood for a guitar other than for lightweight, stability, or aesthetic reasons? Genuinely curious. I just buy what I like.
Just buy what you like.
I think weight is a big thing.
Weight's a big one for me. I don't like heavy guitars. I mean, I have a Les Paul, but they're supposed to be, I guess. But if I'm going to build a guitar from scratch, I like it to be light. I like 6-pound guitars or less. So, well, about 6 pound, 6.5, something like that. So lightness is a thing for me. That's my biggest thing.
Oh, I'm going to put this on the screen. Somehow I missed it.
Okay.
But Ghostface sent us a super chat earlier. I said I would look out for it. Somehow I missed it. But here's a question from Ghostface.
Excellent.
Hey, Dylan, I got a vintage spec Tort Strat Guard from Avant-Garde. I got it blank without any pickup routes. Can I possibly pay you to route out the holes with your laser machine? Can it cut celluloid?
No, you know why? I will die. Because my garage will burn down and I will die of asphyxiation because of chemicals. Celluloid is very dangerous to cut. You have to cut it under certain circumstances. Use a router. Don't generate any heat. It will catch on fire. It's really, yeah. There is a fountain pen factory in Italy that burned down a couple of years ago. It was a warehouse full of celluloid that they were using for all the, yeah. I want to say it was a monograppa, maybe.
Okay. I am just scrolling through really quick.
Make sure you didn't miss anything.
See if I missed anything. All right. Jason B. Hey, what's up, Dylan?
Hey,
I would like to purchase that really cool magnetized box you got. What is it called and where can I get one? Looking forward to learning from you on how to build pickups soon.
magnetized box. Hang on. That is, if you want to go on to the next question,
Sure.
I will.
Researching Jason.
Yes, I will look up the website while we're doing this.
Jose Daniel Zamora P wants to know, can you split the Super 8? Is there any other reason for it to have 4-wire? I must have done it with my phone. I mean, my
Yeah, you can
watch.
split the Super 8, but it splits okay, but it doesn't split near as good as the Center Punch does. Man, what the heck is the name of that thing?
Mike Olette. Hi, Leslie and Dylan. Thoughts on impact of set neck versus bolt on? Thanks.
I think that's a choice of how the guitar feels more than anything. If a bolt-on guitar is built properly, it's just as solid. It's just as, I think that's a whole rabbit hole that people go down for all the wrong reasons. When you bolt a neck on a guitar, it can, unless you really engineer it, limit your bridge choices, neck angle choices, that kind of stuff. You have a lot more flexibility, but a lot more engineering time in a set neck where you can do a lot more things. Like a Les Paul has 4 degrees of neck angle. So, now I can put a Bigsby B7 on the thing, whatever. So there's a lot more flexible. They have to be engineered differently to get different flexibilities out of them and for different use cases. I think they are just different use cases. That is my thing. I'm going to go get the name off of that thing because it's going to drive me crazy and I can't find it.
Okay. We need some stickers to cover up these arm names. We need smaller stickers. You don't have to do it like right now. Hilarious.
It's so dumb. The name is called Magnetool.
That sounds douchey.
It does sound douchey. Magnetool. Sounds like the guy who owns its name is Kyle. Yeah, it's called Magnetool.
Oh, wrong button. Super chat from Analog Kid Digital Man. Thank you for the super chat. He said, I just saw Rick Beato's interview with George Benson and came away an even bigger fan of him. What is special about his signature edition Ibanez?
I don't know what's special about it, but I do know that George Benson is absolutely special. He is a gift to humanity, that man. He is I have been a fan of his, and my dad has been a fan of his since I was a little kid. I remember listening to his vinyl records, and yeah, he's a cool guy. These are still too big.
I told you they were. Yeah.
Maybe I need a Runway Audio sticker to go right here, actually. A Runway Audio sticker on one side and a Dylan Talkstone sticker on the other.
Anyway.
Cool. Magnetool. By the way.
Jim Cunningham says, okay, so today I have friends watching, and pardon the expression, they are amazed by your swift responses.
Really? Amazed. Well, thank you. I don't know that it's all that amazing. I'm just responding to questions.
Oh, I would have laughed if you had hit your face.
I I may at some point. Oh, man.
Matthew Altamere says, since you're selling the new pickup mags now on the site, I hear people talk about unoriented rough mags. What the hell are those?
So I think we got a super chat too. Unoriented versus oriented. It's a whole thing about when the magnets are manufactured to align the particles in the magnet a certain way, blah, 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 blah. Honestly, if you go down that road, you might as well ask Paul Reed Smith. Dude, it's like, don't even stress about it. And then there's rough cast versus polished. I've used both. There will be people with way thicker glasses than me that say things about rough cast magnets versus smooth ones. Surface area, inductance, blah, blah, blah. The bottom line is you have played so many pickups with unoriented, polished magnets that are so good that there's no point in spending any energy on it at all, including mine. If you've played my pickups.
Super chat from Jim Golden. Thank you for the super chat, Jim. He said, love all the podcast and information. No question from me. Please answer a question from the chat instead.
Wow. Thanks, man.
Very nice.
Well, you know what? The next one, because
Courtesy of Jim.
we don't normally put the ones from the chat up on the screen.
Oh, we're going to showcase
Yeah.
somebody?
So let's go ahead and throw it up on the screen since he. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Since he bought somebody else's on-screen question. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like pay it forward kind of thing. Thank you, sir.
Well, this is the next one. It's not even guitar related. But Curtis Chavez says, we need a DTT Spyderco knife.
Wait till I get another laser. That's all I'm saying.
All right. BC Rich 581. Still saying that a DTT embroidered smoking jacket would be awesome, Dylan. Would be awesome. Dylan talks tone in swirling script plus a couple of dragons.
We have a couple of things in the works that are super duper classy. We have some non-guitar related stuff that's super duper classy too. For those of you that don't know, and I don't want to go totally off topic right now, but I'll just give you the short version. DylanandLeslie.com is a website. Our other YouTube channel has blog posts from our other channel about all the other off-topic stuff we talk about. On that website is going to be a bunch of non-guitar related stuff that we are into, that we are selling, and that we are making here in-house. My daughter is designing earrings. She is a painter, so she will be selling prints and original works of art on that website. She will be doing a bunch of different stuff. We are working on some fountain pen related merchandise that I want, so I made it. Various things that we're into, and so as we continue to explore with what we're doing, that stuff will end up over there, just kind of as a creative outlet. And then what happens is it bleeds over to the Dylan Talks Tone side, because I'm like, ooh, this would make cool merch as we're doing all this stuff. So kind of everything kind of feeds each other. So DylanandLeslie.com, and then also YouTube.com/DylanandLeslie if you want to see some of that other stuff. And hang out until after 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Jude Grant. I haven't seen that name in a while. Hello, Jude.
He just ordered from me.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm doing it. I think we're doing it Monday. P bass.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, precision bass.
So Jude Grant said, DTT knife. I'm in. Make them Sabenzas, LOL.
Yeah, right.
Jose Daniel Zamora P says, a DTT gun holster would be the most Dylan thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, I need a different laser. I'm working on it.
Oh, gosh. Matthew Altimer said, "Oh boy, is that website safe for work?"
Yes. Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh. Dog Dr. Tim said, "If you start producing knives, I'll be your Huckleberry beta tester."
Yeah, I'm not going to start producing knives. I do know that.
Oh, yeah. Vinny's World. P.S. That's where you can get the So Metal Kitty hoodies
That's right.
and t-shirts.
Yep. It's the So Metal.
And I think I just put a hat up just to try it.
Did you?
Yeah.
A So Metal hat?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
I'm pretty sure.
Awesome. Yeah, you've been working on that. I haven't seen it much.
That's because I killed it and then I had to get it back up.
Had to redo it. Yep. Yeah, we're working on some stuff. You're gonna start seeing stuff trickle over there over the next few months.
Yeah, and similar to what we talked about earlier. So what you see there now is third party. We're not producing that stuff, but
Yeah, a lot more of that stuff's gonna come in house now that we've got the facility to do it.
All right.
And it's just gonna be better.
Dog Dr. Tim says, "If you played new age music, would it be the Celeste, Paul?"
Oh my God.
He loves Celine Dion.
I hate the name Celeste. I'm not saying I hate the name
Celeste. Named us a whole different name. Why did it make me think of that?
I don't know.
That was weird. I just realized that.
Celeste is,
What is
like,
Celeste? I don't know anybody named that.
That's because we don't hang out in the coffee shops that we hang out in. People shower on a more regular basis.
I mean, like, I've literally never known anybody with that name.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Yeah. You're not hippie enough. Yeah. Anyway. Before we offend a bunch of people. Probably already did. Whatever.
I haven't done anything. Literally haven't heard of it before. Tom F., what do you think of adding a Sustainiac pickup to a P90 equipped Tele style guitar?
You have to route it for a humbucker because that only fits in a humbucker shape, but Sustainiacs are really, really neat. They do have their own sound, and it will not sound like a P90 with a Sustainiac, because what it is the Sustainiac is actually magnetically activating the strings to then act over a single coil pickup that's sitting next to it. That's how that works. But yeah, no, they're really cool. They're really cool. If you're willing to put that in your guitar and have all the stuff to go along with it, because there's a fair bit of junk that goes in there. They're very cool.
Your stereotype must be a little correct, because Van Chan Guitar says, "I went to school with a girl named Celeste," and Mr. Goat just says, "Here come the crystals."
Exactly.
I
used to live
Charles Wallace went to school with a Celeste as well.
I used to live 30 minutes from Sedona, Arizona. I could tell you stories.
I think there's podcasts and documentaries about it now.
Oh, man.
Flickering Madness says, "You ever mess with, I don't know, the idea of doing something like the TBX tone pot?"
People always ask about that. And I just have no interest in it. That one and the Reverend circuit. Everybody always wants to talk about those two, and I just don't. I used to be put every push pull tone switchy roundy dewy stuffy thing in a guitar, and now I don't care about any of it. Volume, tone, one pickup, the end. I don't really, it's just not something I'm super passionate about, is any of that extra stuff.
Jose Daniel Zamora P., have you ever considered a collaboration with Glenn Fricker? He hates pickup myths, but is a man of science, so it would be interesting.
I doubt it would happen, because your definition of man of science and my definition of man of science, how it relates to Glenn Fricker, are two different things. So even me saying that, he would probably be like, No, I never want to work with that fool. I just am not, maybe, I mean, I would totally make a video with anybody that wanted to have a cool conversation about it, but I doubt, I don't want to say I doubt because I don't want to imply or like assume anything. Let me say this. I would be interested to see how much of an actual conversation it would be, or if it would just be Glenn Fricker telling me stuff. I would be curious to know that. I'd love to learn from him, though.
Ion Hunter says, were you ever in the military?
No.
3J Music. Dylan, if you had two humbuckers that you know you like, but they are totally different, for example, one is Alnico and one ceramic, is there any downside to combining them if you're not splitting?
Or if you are, it doesn't matter. If you like them, put them in the guitar. And if they work decently together, the only downside could be if they're like wildly different and it makes it inconvenient to play them together in the same guitar. So like, you know, if you're playing a gig and you're on the bridge pickup and you turn to the neck pickup and all of a sudden everything is different, so much so that, you know, it's hitting your amp different and you got too much overdrive and you have to twiddle a bunch of knobs to get it back to normal. That doesn't happen as much as people think, though. This stuff is way more forgiving than people think. So as long as that's not a problem, mix it up. Do whatever you want.
Andy Y. Can you make a video on how to make a line out on an old amp?
No, and I'll tell you why. I don't mess with amps because I like my heartbeat to continue to function, and I don't want to have to start it again after I accidentally touch something I'm not supposed to touch. I do not mess with amps. I used to fix TVs for a living when I was younger, when I was in my early 20s, and computer monitors.
Wait, you're not in your early 20s?
I'm in my late 20s now. I got bit a couple of times by high voltage stuff, and I'm just like, I don't want to mess with that stuff anymore. So, and now we don't have to because we don't have tubes in televisions anymore. You know, most electronics are not high voltage anymore, so I don't have to screw with it.
Vinny's World says, Dylan, do you still make dual white humbuckers?
I just made some today.
Ooh. Tom, like 2 M's. If Jim Lil taught me anything, it's that guitar players have a unique definition of science. LOL.
Yeah. And they just care about weird stuff. I care about playing guitar and having fun and making friends and rocking out. And I care less about, I mean, I still care about it, but I care less about some of that stuff.
Vinny's World says, Glenn said once that he doesn't consider himself a man of science. He just uses a junior high concept of the scientific method.
That's funny.
So he just has
Hypotheses. Yeah.
Sunbay says, I'd like to see Glenn Fricker and Paul Reed Smith have a conversation.
That'd be interesting. That would be like an ego explosion.
Brewhound 77 says, what about different magnet types for different pole pieces in the same pickup?
So people have done that. And they swear that it does a thing that's so cool. And I think this falls, for me personally, this falls under one of those categories where it's like, just because you can do something doesn't mean that it benefits anything to the extent that it's worth doing it, and not just doing it, but flushing it out properly, like literally doing all the testing, doing all the work and all the whatever for what tiny percent of benefit or perceived change. Benefit's the wrong word. Perceived change or, I don't know. It's never been a thing that because I have done it. I have played with it, and I'm just like, I mean, if I spent a really long time, I could probably get something that I kind of like, but it would only be 10% different, and it wouldn't give me a... if I sell stuff on my website, it's because I think it's really cool. And if I design a pickup, it's because I think it's really cool, and it's something I really believe in, and I really enjoy, and I can tell you, this is what it does. This is what the center punch does. This is the purpose of the DAF. This is the purpose of the Thruxton. Here's why we engineered the flat 6 Telecaster pickup the way we did. I have answers, like real answers, not like Vaseline on my strings and a rubber nut answers. I mean, like real answers for all of those things that are not salesy. They're just literally like, I figured this out by myself before I ever sold anything. I think one of the things about me is I have never designed a pickup because I knew it would sell. I've never done that. Still to this day, I have designed stuff that I like, stuff that I've solved problems with, stuff that I was curious about. And if it was good, then I sold it. But I've never said, I think that would sell. Because a lot of people will say that, like, why don't you put A2s and then this strings and this strings? Everybody would buy it. A, no, they wouldn't, because that's not how the world works. And B, that's not why I do what I do.
Super chat from Sarge978. Thank you for the super chat, Sarge. He said, I love the smell of warm tubes in the morning. Smells like victory.
Mm-hmm. Except I would never play a victory. I'm just saying. It's
Somebody
supposed to be
said
napalm.
Yes. Somebody said that. And it's from Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
Colonel
Now.
Kurtz.
Yep.
And he was like, you're not supposed to give it away.
I did know that one.
I need hints. I
knew that one.
I don't know any of these things. Thank you for the super chat, though, Sarge. And for making me feel
young.
A little less than.
No, young.
Young? Is that what it is?
It makes you feel young because you don't know any of these movies because they're all older than you.
Oh.
That's what it is. Maybe you should be pissed at Sarge for thinking you're older than you are.
But I don't think Sarge is that old. If he has a 3-year-old, like, I assume he's not that old.
I'm only kidding, Sarge. That was totally a joke, but we're just, hanging out. I can't wait to have a beer with him at some point. I'm sure we're going to meet up and have.
Jose Daniel Zamora P. Oh, wait. I think I missed something. He's responding to somebody. Okay, I'm going to skip that one and go back to it.
Okay.
Rusty Shackelver said, Glenn Fricker is not a man of science. He's just an extreme in his uninformed ideas, as PRS is just on the opposite end.
The thing is about those people, both of those people, they still have value. Like I don't agree with everything they say, but you don't have to. I don't want to agree with everything everybody says, because every time I watch one of those guys, it makes me think more. Like, it makes me go, wait a minute. Should I question what I already know? Or and I'm not there to be like, I think he's wrong about everything. I think, whatever. I watched that Paul Reed Smith video the other day and I was just like, okay, you know what? This makes me want to do some stuff different. I watched Glenn Fricker's video and I'm like, that gives me a really good idea for a video, but I'm going to approach it differently. I like the idea. You know what I mean? I still take inspiration from those folks. It's not that you think anyone's an idiot and then just completely ignore them. If you only listen to people that you 100% agree with all the time, you never learn anything. And sometimes that might be learning how not to do something. So, I'll still find value in it. Absolutely. And that's not me being like politically correct or anything. It's just realizing that that's a human being person who's like got a personality. And both of those people have very strong personalities. And I know I do too. So, you know.
Super chat from Sarge978. He says, whoa, I felt the bus on that one. Thank you for the super chat.
I love it. Thanks, Sarge.
Okay, so I found the comment that went with the next comment.
Okay.
So maybe they're just talking to themselves, but anyway. Al Adolphson, just an old guy, said, music is when, so I'm assuming that's a channel, just loaded a video of him playing an all glass guitar that sounds good. Someone should send it to Paul Reed Smith. And then Jose Daniel Zamora P said, at this point, in my opinion, PRS is old man shouting at cloud. Like, of course, he sells fancy woods, so he's not objective.
So that's the thing. Paul Reed Smith is very good. His guitars are excellent. They are very good. I think now here's where I do want to be sort of politically correct, 'cause I don't want to be super offensive about this, but without getting into the ageism thing, I think there are certain people, he obviously hadn't talked to his marketing department before he did all that, right? Like, how do you gain audience in 2024? It's not by being old man yelling at cloud, and it's possible that, Gibson did the same thing. Mark Agnesi did the same thing with the whole Play Authentic thing. And they walked that back and they changed their approach and they really went way more customer centric after that. And they leaned into the Play Authentic thing, but they did it in a way that was like, look at all this cool stuff. Not, we're a bunch of jerks. Like, he was a jerk that day. Yes, he was. But I don't hold it against him because I have seen him since then do a whole bunch of other things that make more sense. Will Paul Reed Smith do that? I don't know. Time will tell. But I don't take away his ability to sell a good guitar. And his wood that he uses is super fancy and super cool. And it is individual to what they do. Today I was like, do I want to buy one? Because I really kind of do want a CE24. I can't find one in a color I want, so I haven't bought one yet. But I have no reason not to. I mean,
Super chat from Sunbase. Thank you for the super chat. They said, no ads makes life better.
Well, thanks, man. And thanks, everybody, for supporting, knowing that we're doing that. It does.
Real doubtful.
I was, because I'd been thinking about it for a few weeks, because Matt started doing it, and I called him today. And I was like, Matt, first of all, how do I do it to do it properly? Second of all, is this actually a good idea? And he said, yes. He said, your viewers will, he said, just watch. He said, your viewers will absolutely appreciate that you care about them enough to not make them watch a bunch of ads during a live stream. I'm like, he's like, they will take care of you. And I'm like, okay. So I appreciate it. It's really cool.
Let's see. Sorry, little delay.
No, it's okay.
Just trying to
probably got time for one or two more.
Yep. Okay. Oh, somebody doesn't like us.
Oh, well.
J.A. Hall. Is there really much difference in playability between 7 1/4 and 9.5 inch fretboard radius?
No. When you take a 7.5 and a 9 1/4 inch radius, that's a circle, right? And then you cut that piece down to this big and you look at the difference at this distance, it's only a couple of thousandths. You can feel it, but it's not as big as everybody says.
Oh, we have 4 more. Can we do them?
Yeah, let's do them. Lightning round.
Okay. Well, first one is just a statement. Jose Daniels Zamora P says, they still have value. Will be my go-to answer for certain type of people from here on.
Yeah.
I love that.
Exactly.
Ted Onishchuk, which pickups were problem solvers and what were the problems?
I'll give you a quick one. Center punch. Because when you coil split a humbucker and it volume drops so bad, that's super annoying and makes it a useless pickup. And I think we've largely fixed that problem with that pickup.
Flickering madness. Hey, Dylan, are Alnico 2 P90s a thing? I love Alnico 2, but can't seem to find them in a P90.
Not here. We don't make them here.
Brian Ekholm, I wired up 3 single coils to my bridge pickup sounds muffled. The rest sounds fine. Did I ground it wrong?
Read that one more time.
I wired up 3 single coils to my Strat. The bridge pickup sounds muffled. The rest sound fine.
Sounds to me like you have a tone circuit problem in your switch. And that can happen. I would check out your switch wiring.
All right, before we switch over, super chat from Sarge978. Thank you. He said, the only PRS I've had that I liked was my Mile Mushak Baritone. Sure, I'm not saying that name correctly.
Interesting, a baritone.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the super chat.
All right.
If you just turn that on down there.
Well, can't go anywhere yet.
Oh.
Super chat from John Roddy. Does John Roddy not own any guitars right now?
I don't know. Either that or he's lost count.
John Roddy. Thank you for the super chat, John. He said, love the content. Don't have a question. I like the idea of funding someone else's good question.
Thank you.
Really nice, John.
I appreciate that, John.
I really like the purple guitar in his picture, though.
Yeah. All right. So this is Off Topic Hour.
This one?
Yep. It just pops it on right there. So for those of you that are not familiar, because apparently there are some new people watching with some other friends and such, we talk guitar stuff until 9 o'clock every Thursday night. If you want to make sure that your question gets answered by 9 o'clock, there's a couple things you can do. You can go to patreon.com/DylanTalksTone and become a member. You can hit the join button down there, the little YouTube member join thing. And we make a post early on Thursday, and you ask your questions ahead of time, and those are the ones that we put up on the screen at the beginning. The other thing you could do is use a super chat, obviously, and show up early. We like to just hang out with you. I believe that it is important to just hang out and get to know everybody. And so we have a little off-topic time on Thursday nights after 9 where we just hang out, and you get to ask whatever question you want, and we'll probably answer it. If you have a guitar question after 9, you have to use a super chat. Otherwise, we will ignore it. So just FYI, because we want people to ask off-topic questions and get to know them. We do have a couple from Patreon.
All right. Well, let's get to those first. Shane, off topic, Stars versus Oilers.
Oilers.
Who you got?
Oilers.
You just probably made Flickering Madness's day. He said, heck yeah, I'm from Edmonton. Let's go Oil.
Yeah, please let me know if there's any score.
It's 0-0 right now, Box Guitars Rock said. And he's also cheering for the Oilers.
Excellent.
Who you got? Charles. Good evening, Leslie and Dylan. Thanks for sharing your evening with us. Thank you, Charles.
I have to thank you, Charles.
And he went to school with somebody named Celeste, too.
He did. I have to say, I know these microphone arms might still be a little clunky when we move them around, but I know they're a lot better than having it on the table.
It's fantastic.
And I also know that I can actually sit in my seat instead of being all up and weird. And oh man, it's way more comfortable.
We got another one from Shane.
Mm-hmm.
Can't see it. Shane, good morning to the lovely Leslie and her manly man.
He's in Japan, so he's tomorrowing it already.
Dylan, thoughts on the lawsuit to break up Live Nation?
Have you heard anything about this?
No.
I haven't either.
Oh.
I don't know enough about it to have an opinion on it. So I don't know. I might look at it and comment on it next week, but I don't really have a.
Yeah, I don't know.
It would be nice if I could afford to go to a concert again. That'd be cool.
John Roddy said, sorry, I must have changed the wrong line in my profile. Should be John owns 15, still can't play any Roddy.
15's pretty cool. 15. I remember when he was like 6.
Yeah. Vinny's World was like, you're up to 15 now?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Can tell who some of the OGs around here are, like remembering each other. I love it. I love it. See, this is why we do this.
This is why. All right. Yep. That was all the ones that came in before.
Cool.
So ask questions. Box Guitars Rock said game still 0-0. That was a little earlier. Already said that. Tom F, would you rather carry OWB? What does that mean?
Outside the waistband.
With a backup blade weak side or inside waistband with a backup blade sting side, regardless of folder or straight blade?
I carry in pocket. My knife is always in my pocket. So even if I carry a fixed blade, I still pocket carry. Typically what I do is I clip it on my, I move, what's the easiest way to say it? I take the clip on the sheath and I put it on the opposite side. So I'm left-handed, but I actually draw my knife right-handed. So I put it on the right, but I put the belt clip so that it puts the knife inside my pocket and then clips onto there. So my pocket carry fixed blades are usually about 4 inches or less, usually about 4 inches. So for example, I have a half face blades Featherlight that I carry. If we're talking more tactical style, I have a Winkler SD1 that I carry, and those are about 4 inches. I care more about how the handle carries in the sheath so that it's not sticking way up, that it's about my waistline, my belt line, or below.
Okay. So in my opinion, Tom F. did not ask you any of that. So if this was a hypothetical question, if you had to choose outside waistband with a backup blade weak side or inside waistband with a backup blade sting side, which would you choose?
Inside. I don't like carrying outside anything.
Okay. Thank you. I don't know if that was your question, Tom, but I felt like you didn't answer it. Vox Guitars Rock says, why do you park in a driveway but drive on a parkway?
That's a good question.
There's other words like that too.
Yeah. I used to drive on a parkway all the time when I lived in New York.
Jose Daniel Zamora P says, do you use all of your pens regularly or some are just for special occasions or collection?
Well, you have a thing about that. You're like, I don't want to own any more than...
I also counted wrong.
You have a lot more than you.
No, I have 10.
You have 10? So I have a lot more than 10. So I...
But yes, I don't want any more than I can use. I mean, who needs 10 pens? But yes, I can rotate through 10 pens.
Yes, me too.
And I use them all. And they're not for decoration or collection.
There's probably 8 or 9 in the drawers over there that aren't inked up right now. But I will probably in about 2 weeks swap a bunch out. I use all of them. Even my fancy ones, like my Mont Blancs and stuff, I'll daily carry those. I don't care. If I don't use one, I'll get rid of it.
Yeah, Ted said, I'm betting knowing Dylan, he tries to use them all regularly.
Yeah.
You are correct.
All my knives, too. Everything. Everything I own, I try to make sure that I use all of it. If I don't use it, I sell it and buy something else that I do use.
Doc Siltonen just got here. Hello,
Hey, Doc.
Flickering Madness says, anyone else following the Tetris rebirth grind? I don't know what that means,
No.
but is he saying Tetris is making a comeback?
I don't know.
I loved Tetris. Not as much as Dr. Mario, but because of course
I don't know
Mario.
I don't know if that's the real what he's talking about or not.
Either.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
That's what it made me think of. That might not be what he's talking about. Let's see. Tom F said yes, that was his question. So
Okay.
Glad I pushed you. Anna, that was creepy. Did you just do that?
I just did that, yeah.
That was creepy. Analog Kid Digital Man said, your office/studio is looking great. Have you considered going into designing for others?
Nope. No.
I'm working on my new office studio right now. We haven't even done what we need to do in other places.
Yeah, we still have walls to paint and stuff to do. And
Dog Dr. Tim said, noses run and feet smell. That's another one.
oh, yeah.
John Roddy, you have me curious. Can you recommend a beginner's fountain pen for someone who loves 1.4 millimeter thick lines?
This is your department.
1.4 is big. Most of my pens are 1.1. I also like thick lines. I don't know anything about beginner. Is what I have considered beginner?
Yeah, I would say a Twisby Eco, but that's only 1.1.
Yeah. But I just got that Kaweco calligraphy set.
Mm-hmm.
Kaweco Sport calligraphy set. It was affordable, especially because it comes with 4 nibs. And the smallest one is 1.1. And it goes all the way up to 2.5.
Yeah. 2.3.
2.3.
The other one I can think of that is a good 1.5 is a Lamy Safari is available in a 1.5.
How come you've never told me that? I don't have one of those.
Because you don't like Lamy Safaris because they have the triangular grip.
Oh, you're probably right.
Mm-hmm. You tried mine and you're like, I don't like this. This is dumb because it locks my hand into one spot. So I never bought you one. There was bunches of them I was always going to buy you, but you don't really like them, so I never did.
All right. So
yeah, Lamy Safari is a good one, and they're like $30.
If you don't have that problem. Otherwise, I have 2, the Kaweco Sports. It's a good little pen. So.
Yes. I don't have... Oh, wait.
Yes, you do. What? Don't you have one? You just got one.
No.
I thought you bought one.
It gets here tomorrow.
You did. I told you. You're like, I do not have it right now.
I don't have it yet.
I
got you a new pen, too.
Dom D.
It's a calligraphy pen, like a specific calligraphy pen. I want you to try it and tell me what you think.
Dom D. I don't have an issue with people who open carry guns or knives, but I'm a huge fan of not advertising that I'm the person who will be a problem for a criminal. I'd rather that be a surprise.
You know, yeah, I don't know. I say everybody can do what they want. I'm not but I also don't. This sounds weird because I post stuff on Instagram, but I don't. I'm very discreet, even about a pocket knife. Like if we're, although I really do want to get one of those like fancy gentleman steak knives and like carry it in my sport coat and like take it out at restaurants and use it.
Because he eats steak. I mean, really?
I was thinking about it yesterday when I was like, they did not give me the sharp knife with my burrito.
It was a burrito.
I know,
You
but
didn't
it
need
still would have been fun.
Sharp knife. You ate it with your fork and it was fine.
I did. Well, why not?
Oh, apparently this is some kind of competition.
Oh.
Vinny's World said, I also like watching people do Tetris 99 matches and then fans of the host building statues on the side.
Huh.
Yeah, Tetris is having a huge resurgence. Yes.
I did not know that.
I didn't either. That's very strange. I don't know.
You know you're old when Tetris is retro.
There's a lot of
And
things
having
that are
a
retro and
resurgence.
shouldn't be. Tom F says, I carry concealed. I think I have more holsters than my wife has handbags, but I will not bet her on that.
I bet my wife has more holsters than she has handbags.
That is true.
I'm okay with it.
That's because I only have 2. I do not care about purses.
Yeah.
They are a functional item.
Yes.
I do not care. I think I saw a super chat pop up on me. Yes. Super chat from Sarge978. He says, end of the first 0, 0. I don't know what does that mean? SOG EDM 3.
Oh. Shots on goal.
Oh. 3 and 7.
Edmonton. Oh, wow.
But nobody scored.
Nobody scored. That's a pretty low shot count, actually.
What kind of smart Alec comment did you say to me the other day when I was like, I don't understand hockey?
I don't remember.
You were like, everything's a choice. I was like,
hey, well,
shut
I mean,
up.
it's true.
Shut up. I don't know.
Oh, it's true.
It was really rude though. I was like literally having like a conversation with them and I was like, I just cannot understand hockey. He was like, everything's a choice.
That's what you always say, though. You always say everything is a choice.
It is, but that was rude. All right. I lost my place.
So funny.
Okay. Matthew Altamere talking about Ticketmaster, was going to pre-order David Gilmour tickets. Nosebleeds were insane at New York Madison Square Garden. I'd jam out at home and save a G.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
Let's see.
Is anybody worth $1,000?
I don't know. Nothing comes to mind.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Is that still hasn't happened? Who are you? Vox Guitars Rock said, who are you picking in the old age home versus young beginner? Tyson versus Paul. And are you going to watch it? That still hasn't happened.
I thought it. I don't know. I guess I would have heard about it if it had happened, but I'm going Tyson because although I don't think you can underestimate Logan Paul.
3J Music said, I'm also a lefty who plays right-handed, but some other things come naturally right-handed, throwing, shooting, etc. Do you do anything other than play guitar right-handed?
I do almost everything right-handed except for right.
And shoot,
but I can shoot right-handed. I can't shoot. So here's the thing. I have a lazy eye in my right eye, and so I shoot left-handed more so because I'm left-eyed. So I can't shoot a rifle right-handed because I don't use this eye. I would have to like do this kind of thing. So I shoot a rifle left-handed. I shoot a pistol predominantly left-handed, but I switch it back and forth on purpose. It's, obviously you train both ways. I carry my knife and I carry my knife and deploy my knife right-handed, typically, and I wind pickups right-handed. I play hockey right-handed. Yeah.
Pretty interesting. So Ted just said the Safari was the one you recommended to me 2 weeks ago, but knowing it's triangle might not be my thing.
Twisby Eco.
So I feel like to clarify, it is ergonomic. I personally don't like it, but I'm also I don't like thick pins. I don't like things to hit me in the wrong. Like I'm just very particular because I'd prefer to type. So it has to be super comfortable for me to want to write. I do think it's very ergonomic. I just, I think I might write a little different. So I didn't feel like the nib was where I wanted it to be.
Right.
It probably was because you tell me I write wrong all the time, but anyway.
So this is here, we can do this. This is a Lamy Safari, and you see how
It's like those old pencil grips.
yeah,
Like,
the bottom of the
yeah.
pen is round and the top of the pen is
Yeah.
triangular.
I think it's meant to be ergonomic.
And the reason why is because, especially for a beginner, because you have to hold the nib correctly. If you hold a
Yep.
a fountain pen upside down, it doesn't work. So if you hold it the way these work, it puts your fingers in the right spot and you hold the pen correctly. And it actually doesn't get in the way too much. It'd be interesting to have you try it now that you've ridden with him a bunch.
Yeah, maybe.
That doesn't have any ink in it, but this is the other brand that I would say. This is Twisby Eco. That's like $35 for this or something. And this is like a 39 or 9mm section. So
That's
it's
my favorite.
yeah. So that's what I always, when I buy pens for you that you don't know about, like if like when I bought your Edison or whatever, I always shop by section diameter so that you don't have some big fat thing that you don't like. Because I like big pens. But this is about $35. The difference between this one and that one is that this one is an internal piston, but it's super cool because it's clear and you can see everything inside. So if you feel like you wouldn't like this skinny pen with this triangular grip, then my other recommendation for not beginner, but for a pen that
You want to try?
that you would want to try would be a Twisby Eco.
So Jose Daniel Zamora P said Dylan eating a burrito with a knife might be the first red flag since I started watching him. So I think you should clarify what kind of burritos you eat.
Oh, yeah.
They're like drowned in sauce.
Yeah. So this is not an actual burrito. This is like a Mexican restaurant burrito, like the huge one that comes on a
skillet. Like
on a skillet.
Yeah.
It comes on a skillet. It's got enchilada sauce over the top of it. It's like a whole thing. Yeah. So no, not.
And it's huge. Like,
yeah, it's big. I don't eat the whole thing.
And then Doc wanted to know what vegan dining options require a sharp steak knife to eat. None. He just wants to carry a knife.
And I always do carry a knife, but I just don't carry one of those.
But you could eat with your pocket knife if you had to.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I would rather eat with a fixed blade, though. Because you don't want to get stuff on it.
I can't even tell you. I couldn't count on one hand the number of times you've needed a knife when you ate.
No, it's true.
We just bought
steak
knives thinking about feeding other people, and they haven't even been used yet.
No, I did sharpen them, though.
Pretty.
The factory edges were good, like really good, but they weren't really good. So I fixed them.
Let's see. Curtis Chavez, what are the main differences you'd get with that Spyderco that you recommended versus a department store knife?
Weight to strength ratio, number one. You'll break like if you go to, on the whole, this is just a generalization, but most departments, quote unquote department store knives, a lot of the cheaper stuff is not built as strong. So if you go to cut through a cardboard box or to make some shavings down a piece of wood for starting a fire or whatever, that's when you're going to break a knife. Or if you go around a corner, for example, that's when you're going to break a knife. And over time, that knife, the blade is going to start to play back and forth on a cheaper knife because those fittings will start to come apart. So longevity is one. Edge retention is another. S30V, which was on the knife that I showed you on that video today, fantastic edge retention. Super, super sharp, stays sharp for a really long time. And so, yeah, between durability and knife steel, yeah, you're getting what you pay for there.
Dom D, a little over a month ago, you convinced me to try out fountain pens. I'm at the point where I've stopped counting how many I own.
Oh my God.
I'm terrible about new hobbies, LOL. You also have that in common with him then. He goes all in, all in.
I just love it. You know what I did yesterday? I texted Brianna last night because she was at work and I told her. She's like flipping out, super excited. I went to gouletpens.com and I ordered every ink sample on their new arrival page. I was like, I mean, we might as well try them. Let's make videos about them. It's super fun. Like, I don't know. I just enjoy it. And I don't buy that many knives anymore because I'm getting very picky about it. This knife I just got, but I ordered it a year ago. Like, I've been waiting for this for almost a year. So, you know, and this is like really a grail piece for me. I don't have my eye on any other knives right now. Like, I mean, obviously I do. There's things I'd like to have, but I get the emails every day and I'm like, I don't need that. I don't need that. So, you know, it's not like I'm doing it with everything
anymore.
No, I mean, I still am. I did see it. I got an email today about an automatic that I've never heard of before, and I think it's Russian. I think it's called a Mikov, and it was in a James Bond movie, so I think I have to have that. But I couldn't find the right colorway because I want to find the right colorway, the one that was in the movie. So now I'm kind of on the hunt for that.
But you don't have your eye on anything. It's because you haven't found it yet.
Yeah, but it's like
that's really
it wasn't expensive. It wasn't expensive. I thought I was gonna have to spend a lot of money for it, but it wasn't expensive. So yeah. I do have my eye on a couple of fountain pens, but those are gonna take a while. And I am throwing money aside, and I did sell some stuff for cash and whatever. I've got a little stash going because the Blade show is in Atlanta at the end of the month or the beginning of next month. So I will buy a new knife next month or a few. We bought a bunch last time we went.
But I don't need a kitchen knife this time, though.
We don't need kitchen knives. And even that, I might be way more selective. I might buy one really cool knife or two really cool knives instead of, there's a Japanese company that I really, rock something, but they're like $800.
No.
So, you know, there's stuff I want, but. And I can always use another half-face blades.
Vox Guitars Rock is fisherman, apparently. He said, I'm that way with fishing lures. The wife's like, how many of those do you need? And I respond, but honey, I have 23 of them, but I don't have this color.
Exactly. I will say, if we're talking about knives that I'm looking for right now, I have been kind of low-key shopping, but it's not like I'm going to go buy one right tomorrow or anything. I'm sort of low-key shopping for a boot knife. I don't know if I'll use it for a boot knife, but I really want like a 3.5-inch dagger. Why? Because I don't have one. Like that's like.
But they're not convenient. You wear your pants over your boots.
True.
You have to like move your pants.
Well, and maybe that would be like what we were talking about earlier. That might be a belt carry thing or a scout carry thing or something. I don't know.
So then why is it?
I want to try it. They just call it a boot knife. There was one on half-face blades, and I had just bought a bunch of other stuff. I think we had just moved into the house, and I was like not spending money on any of that. And they did a drop of them, of this really cool boot knife dagger, and I couldn't buy it. And I was like, dang it. So I've been looking at every half-face blades drop every weekend ever since then, and they've never dropped another one of them. So I've been looking. There's a couple other companies that make stuff like that, but it's just super special. I'm really picky though. Like there's a bunch of them out there, but I have something in my head and I haven't seen it yet. I think that's where I'm getting with all this stuff. It's like same thing with guitars. Like any of this stuff, I'm like, I visualize something in my head and I haven't quite seen it yet, so I'm not pulling the trigger on anything. And speaking of triggers, same thing with pistols. I know what I want and I haven't seen it yet. It hasn't come across at the right time. Everything's got to fall together, and then I'm going to get me a 1911, but it hasn't happened yet.
Mel Santiago says, "What artists and bands did you grow up listening to?
Whew. I mean,
Like grow up when it was still your parents, or like grow up when you
that's
could
what I was about to
choose?"
say. Yeah. I mean, I grew up listening to Dan Fogelberg, leader of the band, Gordon Lightfoot, all that stuff. Jim Croce, Bob Dylan, all that stuff. Neil Young. My parents were big time hippies.
My parents are younger, so it was like
Yeah,
80s rock.
80s rock, yeah. When I was old enough to buy my own music, then my stuff was 80s rock. So yeah. Yep. Yours was like Genuine and stuff.
Mm,
And Appetite for Destruction.
that was my first one. Yeah. That was in the
Yeah.
80s.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's hard because I like all the things. I mean, obviously we were just talking about that. Like I could just have everything, but even like, okay, back in the day when the Columbia House thing would come or the BMG thing would come, right?
I taped many a pennies.
It was really hard because, you would be like 12 or whatever, or 8 or whatever. I liked everything on there.
Mhm.
So it was like, how do I pick 8 off of this huge postage stamp thing? Because I actually like all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and that's genuine too. I'm not saying I like all this. I really did. Like I still do. I love music in general. And so there's not very much of it that I don't like. I'm not a big praise and worship guy, obviously, because what does Hank Hill say?
Who was Hank Hill?
From it's a cartoon show.
Dom D says, "I keep eyeing the Pilot Arushi, but a quad cortex seems like a better investment."
Yeah, probably. Dang, you're going all in then. That Arushi stuff's neat. So if you're thinking Pilot Arushi, but you don't want to spend that much money, check out, and you're going to hate me for this,
Don't listen. Close your ears, Dom.
Mr. Cypress. Mr. Cypress fountain pens from Taiwan. Go on the website, and over on the right side, there's a thing where you can click from the Taiwan dollar to the American dollar. It will blow your mind what you can get over there for the money. It's crazy.
Dog Dr. Tim said Gerber Mark 1. Fox Guitars Rock says, "I carry a Smith & Wesson boot knife as a neck knife on occasion."
Oh, yeah. Neck knife never really appealed to me that much. But I don't wear anything on my neck, so.
Dog Dr. Tim said the Gerber would give you an inexpensive tryout for a boot knife. Dastardly Dave said buck 119 or too big.
Too big. Yeah, too big.
Oh my gosh. Benny's World said, "I think the first debt collection letter I ever got was from Columbia House."
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
You didn't give them their penny? No.
Yeah, why did you have to? Oh, because, yeah, it was like you had a year or something.
Yeah.
And I remember being a kid being like, $15? Like, holy crap, I got to spend $15 6 times more?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep. It was like a great idea when you get started, and then you're like, crap. And as soon as you met the thing, you canceled, and then you do it again.
I mean, back in the day, I was like mowing lawns for $8 and stuff. And you're like,
$8.
oh man, yeah. I wasn't getting that much money. My lawnmower wasn't very reliable though.
King of the Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Second period starting. Oilers score.
Oilers scored? How are we?
Caught up.
Well,
1 thumbs down. Apparently we suck. I'm just kidding.
that's when we were talking about Paul Reed Smith earlier.
Somebody loves him.
His wife. It's probably his wife.
Oh, I doubt she watches us.
She had cancer. He made a big deal about that.
I mean, you wouldn't make a big deal if I had cancer?
I would definitely make a big deal out of it, but I also wouldn't use it in a Tonewood argument.
Oh, well, that's weird.
Yeah.
That is weird.
Yeah. All right. Well, since we're caught up and there is hockey on, I'm going to go watch it. This has been super fun.
Yes.
Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for the support on the no ads thing. I really didn't know how it was going to go. So thanks a lot. You guys have been awesome. We will see you probably tomorrow.